Hello, anybody who's popping in right now. We're just getting some stuff together. Hey, there he is. We are sorry. Okay. We just started. I sent you the link and stuff if you want to, share it around and stuff.
I said I was about to go post it.
Good. Dan, you mind telling the audience what you were doing?
Taking the dog out.
Taking your dogs out? Well, not your dogs, your dog.
Letting them breathe.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, that's good. It's all good. Man.
You sent it to me on Twitter.
I don't know. I just do it every time on Twitter. Get used to it, bro. I send it to you on Twitter every single time.
Sure.
Oh, God, I'm so tired of this. Yeah. Man.
What's the cold of?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, all right. Well, first off, hello, welcome back to another episode of the StoryBored Podcast. We made it to episode 3, guys, so now it's an official podcast by the official podcast world. They now condone us. I just got my license sent in, and yours is in the mail, Dan. Don't worry, it's gonna be here soon. But this week we're talking about KAGURABACHI, Undead Unluck, because Dan finally...
What about the penis?
Okay, Dan finally read it. And we are also talking about Bleach, because I read some more of it, and it was very good. But this week, Dan, I want to talk to you about this, because this is another thing I was just, thinking about recently. Do you, you're pretty good at drawing. I mean, I think we could agree on this. You're pretty good at it.
I would assume so. I think I'm pretty okay.
Yeah. And
kind of weird if I wasn't like kind of decent.
Yeah, after all this time. I mean, with that though, it comes with you understanding how to draw 3D shapes, how to draw perspective, foreshortening, all that stuff. I want to ask you this: like with your skills currently, with what you do, how long do you think it would take for you to be tried as a witch in medieval times? Like if they saw your drawings.
Probably pretty quickly. I won't lie.
What?
Because they'd first ask. Well, actually, okay. Do I have my tablet?
Yes, you do. This is you have everything you have right now. It just happens to be in medieval times.
Yeah, so they'd be probably very concerned about like what this like random fucking black box thing that I have, and the ability to like generate images on it. They'd probably think that's a bit of witchcraft going on there.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Type shit. I personally believe that you would be tried immediately because they're like, why are you drawing a blue guy? Like, it's just weird what you're doing, really.
Blues of the devil,
True.
Color.
I mean, isn't King, isn't King part devil, But Valhalla?
No.
Oh, damn, I was trying to guess some Valhalla spoilers.
Demons do not exist in Valhalla.
What? Oh, come on, man. You can't do this, all right? You can't make him blue and then not make him a demon.
I'm doing whatever I want to do.
All right. More importantly,
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to. I mean, I mean, your story's important, but we got some other stuff to talk about. Some things.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Some things that are out.
It's fine.
Some things that are out to read.
Move on.
Okay. So I think we should. I just go in the order. I go in the order I said. Kagurabachi, chapter. I was gonna say episode. Chapter 53. Dan, my man, what do you think? What'd you think?
It's pretty good. It's kind of, like we were talking about last week. Like, it's kind of what I predicted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, I didn't know what the steps you're gonna take to get there, but like, the fight is for the most part like looking to be over. I'm really hoping that what's his face doesn't die because he seems really fucking cool and could be really fun to come back.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, I was kind of on the money that like there's not much more he can do here. But I was I don't know for certain. But like it's kind of cool. It also I was thinking about when I was reading is like okay so like. Not to be Dan's so smart at predicting stories, but again, like with the play stuff, when we were talking about it last week, you're kind of pointing out how it's potentially critiquing other manga story beats and types, where I was of the opinion that it's more so critiquing Chihiro, and like his whole deal, which I was kind of on the money with that. I feel. Seeing as they said, you're a Sosuke type.
Or Sasuke, it was.
Shusuke.
Sasuke. It was literally just Sasuke.
Is it actually Sasuke?
It's literally just Sasuke. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, the main reason I was saying, like, its critique of other things was, well, I mean, I thought like, it just came off like that, but also, as well, I thought it was kind of funny, like, oh, haha, Sasuke, I get it. But, like, I didn't think it was a direct reference to Naruto, I think it was just, like, a guy. But, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying entirely. I think... This chapter, I don't know. It's like it's not bad or anything. I thought it was a really great chapter. I don't know. Like this is we were talking about this last week, not last week.
It was kind of nothing. It's an in between chapter for sure.
Really?
Like it's cool.
It's an in between chapter, you say?
Yeah. Like I don't know if there's a lot. Yeah, I feel like this is so. We had a very big plot point last chapter and a big like acknowledgement of Chihiro's character. We have kind of a development of that at the beginning of this, where he's kind of like, yeah, I am a monster. I've already made like. Like I've already made peace with that, and I feel like next chapter is going to be another like idyllic one where it's going to come into play. So I think it's kind of a weird in between chapter where it's like not a lot actually happened. We just got more insight into Chihiro's past.
Yeah,
and nothing I feel with the other guy.
Hirohiko, I seriously doubt he's gonna die here or something. I'd be really surprised if he does. I think
it would be really weird the second after he gets a cover page of them standing like
this,
face to face, like like the thumbnail.
Yeah.
That he dies immediately.
Yeah.
Though I could be wrong.
I seriously doubt he's going to. I remember I said the same thing about Sojo, but like looking back on it, I think him dying there made a lot of sense. With this, I would genuinely be really surprised if he did die. Like Hirohiko in the situation feels like a really good counterpart to Chihiro in almost every single way, to where I think he's gonna stick around to do some more stuff. But I was gonna say, this is kind of what I commented on 2 weeks ago. I feel like Kagurabachi is just so good all the time that even when it's super good, I just don't feel it as much. I don't know. Like I don't know how to put that. It's kind of weird to me because I haven't had a manga like that ever. Aside from like, actually, not even Chainsaw Man, because like I've never been reading a manga concurrently that was like one of, if not like up there with like one of my all-time favorites. That then is like so good the entire time for me. So I don't know. It's like going through the whole chapter. I really enjoyed the flashback of Samaru. I liked him just. I can't get over how cool his character is. Him cutting off his eyes for the sake of like. As penance for the crimes he's committed. I think it's just really cool. Also, Hirohiko, like, I think paper powers are super underrated. That more manga and anime should do that. I think aside from like Conan, I don't really know any other characters who do that.
Part of the issue with paper powers, I find, is that they're kind of all the same.
True. And
so they become kind of uninteresting because you can't. Like, conceptually, you can do a whole lot with them, but you have to get into, like, super OP shits, because it becomes very conceptual, I feel.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't plan on making a paper-powered individual. I know a couple of the creators that I am in contact with have them.
Yeah.
In shit, but like they're pretty much on the same type. I create paper, I control it. I think the way that it's being used here is pretty cool, where it's like, his main use of it is being able to just see with it. Like that's how that's his most common use case of that power. And so it's pretty fucking solid. But like other than that, it doesn't really do anything too dissimilar to past like iterations of this type power.
I really like Chihiro, because this is the thing I was gonna bring up, is because I was thinking like, oh, maybe Chihiro's gonna like just try to not kill anybody at a certain point, but I used to think that, but I think again this is kind of coming back to the fact that a lot of my understanding for how I think, or at least not understanding of how I think I want it to go out, but just the my past with analyzing stories where it's like I don't want to kill people, I want to like help people, and if I can get around that, that's better, is for a lot from MHA. And at like a certain point, Deku just wants to save people, so I think like in my head I saw it as like, oh, Chihiro's gonna like try to see if he can just get around killing anybody. I still think that's maybe a possibility, but after this chapter I kind of doubt it, mainly because Chihiro here is making a major point of that, like, if I can get around killing bystanders, I'm going to, and I will do anything in my power to do that. So just because I'm killing people like you, that doesn't mean that I'm like you. If that
yeah,
like,
because you would just kill people indiscriminately at that point. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like this was kind of my whole point, like initially with this conflict, where it's like, yeah, like in the same sense that they're killing people and kind of indiscriminately killing people, Chihiro's killing people on one side of the conflict, and so there is a difference there, whereas like this other guy would just fucking kill whoever. Doesn't really matter. Yeah,
Hirohiko doesn't really...
It's just what's most beneficial for him. And like I think at a point Chihiro's going to have to make a choice whether to kill bystanders, because it is actually very important to him that he kills that person or X person, and that's going to be like I feel an important thing, but like, it's unseen at this moment whether or not that will ever come through. I can just imagine it.
I think it is.
Happening.
I think it is like a possibility, but for right now, again, we're just gonna have to wait and see. What else about this chapter? I thought I thought the not even the paneling, just the pages of this chapter were really good. This one I have an issue with this one where I feel like the major spread in the middle is kind of hard to really see what's even going on at all. I guess that's kind of the point, but like it's to a point where it's so confusing I can't even gauge what's going on. Because you see like his arm like flying away, but it doesn't even look like Chihiro cut it at an angle that would even make any sense for it to be flying in that direction. But I will say I'm really liking the panel on the right with Hirohiko just looking so shocked. It feels like I don't know. It kind of reminds me of like that. Like there's this one panel in JJK where like the military is like going through that compound, and like that one guy is like looking down a staircase, and there's just some random cursed spirit that just looks really, really weird. I think that level of shading where it just looks really like messy but still coherent enough to where you can make out something
crazy hatching, but it's like it's so unclear. It becomes hard to tell.
I think it's I would think, oh, it's like too messy, but honestly it like in this situation at least it feels really cool to look at. But even then, like the confusion of like the direction that Chihiro's cutting in here, it's not the worst thing ever, because still the page turn...
I mean, like, actually, so, like, I know which way Chihiro's cutting, I just don't know... Like, I don't know how he's doing it. Like, there's a very clear path that the sword has taken. Like, I can see that pretty directly. Yeah. But, like, it's just kind of difficult to gauge.
Yeah, it's not like a huge problem. This page is still really cool, but yeah. But the page turn with him standing above Hirohiko is really great. I love the papers falling in the background. It's genuinely just really just sick. Also, the death by 1,000 cuts was cool. You see guys, that's what I named the stream. Death by 1,000 paper cuts, because what else? I mean, Saburo said hello. What's up, Saburo? How you doing?
What's up, Saburo?
How you doing, Saburo? Hope you're enjoying this. Hope you like Kagurabachi, because that's what we're friggin' talking about. It's really great.
He is not a reader of it. Oh. Though I do think you would kind of fuck with it.
Saburo, I don't know Saburo well enough, but I appreciate you being here, Dan. You can speak more on that, but Yeah, what else? I do really like the but I'm interested to see more so the perception of Chihiro by the people around him that aren't like fighting with him going forward. I don't know if that's, I hope that comes up more, because I really liked the panel of this guy being like, those stay away, because it's, I don't know, it's just, there's something really interesting to me about this, where like Chihiro has to grapple with the way that people are perceiving him, but not even just as like like a swordsmith, like as a person. Which I also find interesting as a progression of Kunishige's plotline, because Kunishiige didn't. I mean, at least we have not seen him fight with any of the blades. Like, no flashbacks aside from like there's a panel of him cutting some straw in the first chapter. That's the furthest we've seen him fight. Chihiro has, he's the main character. He's constantly using these blades. I'm excited to see people, the perception of Chihiro by the people around him kind of grow more. I don't know where that's even going to lead to, but especially after this chapter, I feel like we're just kind of like introducing or foreshadowing that theme going forward. Again, I don't know where I think it's going to go, but I'm interested in it. I feel like this is what I like about Kagurabachi chapters, because I feel like every single chapter gives you like enough to follow up from the last time, a lot in the moment, and then just enough to really intrigue you into like what's going to happen next time, and then just even a little bit more. That's what's going to happen far off in the future.
About the chapter to chapter moment.
Exactly,
and it's also good in a binge because of that.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember, it's weird to think that there was a point where I was not reading Kagurabachi week to week, but back when it first came out, I just kind of let some of the chapters pile up. Like from chapter, I think it was like 11 to 15. I just kind of stopped reading, and I let it pile up. And I remember reading it in a binge, and it was like such a fun, easy experience, because it's just every single chapter is really meaty, but everything you kind of get into like a flow state when reading it. And I don't really feel that with a lot of manga, really, a lot of the time. Like it's there's a lot of manga I read where it's like I read like a chapter and then I'm like, oh my god, I feel exhausted. Like One Piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, god. What else about this chapter? This flashback was cool. Hirohiko's cool. I really hope he doesn't die. I liked the whole point that Shiro's making about trying to not kill any innocents. I just want to see him grapple more with killing people. I don't know, beyond I kill bad people and then I'm just saving bystanders. I wonder if that's going to come to him more, because I really do think it's going to, and I thought it was going to come more to a head right now, but it makes sense that it's not, because I come back to that line that Shiba said in the first chapter of Shiba warning him about, warning Chihiro about him doing this and how it's eventually going to lead to him, breaking. And I think that's very clearly set up for something. I just don't know when it's gonna happen now. But yeah, it was pretty good chapter overall. I don't really.
I'm gonna talk about a flaw that I have with Kagurabachi, though.
Do tell.
I didn't mention it on the podcast, but I mentioned it before. Is that I feel the side cast is like heavily underutilized.
Yeah.
Like outside of the arc they're introduced in, like Char has not been relevant since the Sojo arc. Like she's just not been in the story.
That's true. I get that.
It kind of bothers me because it's just like I really like these characters, and I feel like they should be present, but they're just not. And like, what's his face is there, and is like kind of out of commission right now. We're not following him, but he is doing something. And then Shiba's been there from the beginning. What's up?
Hakura, you mean, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, Mr. Shiba's been there since the beginning. I feel like it's just like, it's just, I wish more other characters got time to shine, got time in the spotlight.
I agree with that. I was gonna say, because one of my other mutuals recently, Aiden, he made like a little tier list for KB characters, and he put Char in Miss Potential. And in my head, I was like, I don't really get that. And the reason he said it was kind of similar to what you're saying. And this is the thing, the way I view it is that I do entirely.
What are you? The 8-year-old's not going to be able to do anything actually within each arc.
That's what I was going to say. I think that there is a point to be made that like, Char is could be around more. The sidecast could be doing more in certain cases. But more so, I think calling it Miss Potential is a little weird, because I don't think Char has Miss Potential, more so that she is just kind of a character who's relevant for a certain arc to really build up Chihiro at a certain point, and also, I mean, she is also her own character, but I'm just saying. And then after that, we have what I think the eventuality of her character. I think I said this last week too, is that I think there's gonna be a really grave injury from someone to where she just needs to heal them, and you don't know if it's gonna work out, and then things work out, kind of in a similar way with Chihiro's arm. But the way I've always saw it is that like Chihiro and Sojo's whole problem was like Sojo wants all this immediate growth with stuff, and Chihiro wanted that too, but realized that like, oh, I can't, rush everything because eventually it's gonna get me killed, which is and hurt people violently to force my beliefs onto them to make things work out. And with Chihiro, he realizes that that's a bad thing, and then, Char lives and she's doing better. I think the eventuality of that is going to be that Char is going to go beyond any form of strength that Sojo could have drawn out of her, hypothetically or otherwise, to eventually heal someone on that level. Now, do I think that's like going to happen anytime soon? No. I don't know what else you would really do with her right now, seeing as she is an 8-year-old child. She's kind of like there. Same thing with Hanao. I don't really think Hanao needs to get anything though. She's just kind of silly, and I like her.
Yeah.
I do hope though that like
I've never actually wanted anything out of Hanao.
Yeah.
It's just like it would be nice because she just fucking like she was there from the beginning, knew the characters, and so it's a bit odd that she hasn't done anything or doesn't really serve a higher purpose at the current moment. But that's really it. That's as deep as it goes.
Yeah, I think for me, I personally would really like what's her name? I really want Hiyuki to come up more. I know she was like literally involved directly in this arc so far, and is the reason why Chihiro is even here right now. But I really do want more emphasis on people like her, and I know Hakuri's gone a lot. I love Hakuri. I love Hakuri. I love Chihiro. But I really want some of these other side characters to get some more. Like I would want a lot more time given to Shiba and Hiyuki going forward. And or I mean, not even just that, like Azami, or just like any of the side characters who just haven't really gone a lot yet on like a deeper level. Because I think we've had moments and we've had things that have alluded to greater things, but just we're not there yet. And I could watch Chihiro forever. He's a really great character, and I think his design's great. I love almost everything about him. But I do agree with you. I want emphasis on other people. I do disagree with my friend's take that Char is missed potential or something. I highly disagree with that. But I think she's just kind of more of a minor character going forward.
Minor?
Okay, well, in both ways. She's a child, and also she's not as important. What else? Okay, yeah, so like Shiba, Azami, Hiyuki. I mean, Hanao, I don't really think we need to get anything. I don't really think we need to get anything with her. Man, I don't really.
What is Hanao gonna do? Like
she's
she's in a cafe and she
she's cool.
Char.
Yeah, she's cool. Like I appreciate her existence. I just don't really think she's really gonna do much else going forward, which is chill. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. Yeah, I kind of wonder what next chapter is gonna be, because this ends with like Chihiro going now talk. I don't know if Hirohiko is going to be say something and then teleport away, or if he's just going to keep on trying to fight or something like that. I really think he's going to just teleport away or some shit. That makes a lot of sense in my head. And beyond him just teleporting away, I think we're probably going to cut back to Samaru and all that. I wonder if he's going to teleport. Yeah. I wonder if he's going to teleport back to Samaru and Hakuri and stuff. I wonder if I think it'd be kind of interesting if we follow him maybe for like a chapter or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm really interested in his relationship with Yura, because Hirohiko mentioned that he was taken into the not Kamunabi, the Hishaku when he was 15 years old, which would imply a lot. So I kind of wonder what his relationship with Yura and the rest of the Hishaku are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, I think going forward it's either gonna cut back to Samaru, or it's just gonna follow Hirohiko teleporting away. I do hope Hiyuki and like Taifuku and some of the other characters who are like related to the current plotline but not like very like tenuously come up more. But yeah, this was a good chapter. This was honestly a really good chapter. I need Kagurabachi to have like a dip and then get like really good again for me to feel it, if to really feel it again, or just get so good it's just like unbelievable at a certain point. I never thought I'd be complaining about getting a good manga. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, that's weird because I enjoy it.
No, it's
and
not that I
enjoying
don't.
it.
It's just like
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's
Yeah.
just like, like I don't think there's a need for it to get to lower in quality so we can feel the highs again.
no, I don't want it to. I'd rather it stay good than be great. It'd be amazing the entire time. I just think that like when I'm waiting like week to I feel like an addict. That's how I feel with Kagurabachi. I think I've gotten so obsessed with it that at this point I'm just always expecting like the next big dopamine hit from reading it. But that's I shouldn't be viewing it like that. It's a it's a manga. It's not like I'm not doing crack. I mean, it can feel like that sometimes. Yeah, that's how you get ready for the podcast, you freak.
Every time.
Yeah.
So, I'm taking the dog out.
That's the code word. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we should. You want to move on to the next chapter? Or next thing we're talking about, or do you have anything else
you wanna? What do you wanna talk about?
I don't know. I think in the order in the description and what I have up here, I had Bleach next. So we can talk about Bleach if you're down, and then we can talk about Yu Yu.
I'm down.
Because I feel like Yu Yu might. I think it'd be good to cut off with that because you don't have any AMA things you want to talk about. We're just doing this.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I didn't really have any last week either, so.
Yeah, I mean, true. Yeah. So Bleach. So the past 10 chapters that I just read were Byakuya and what's the red hair guy's?
Renji.
Renji. Right. I was about to say Tenri. That's the wrong manga. Renji shows up. They cut Bleach. I was gonna say Bleach. They cut Ichigo down. And then Hat and Clogs shows up and has Ichigo have to go through his little hollow training arc in the hole. And we see what's her name? What is her name?
Rukia Orihime.
Rukia. God. We did see Orihime and Shad like training a little bit, but then like Rukia was chained up and just talking to Renji and Byakuya at some points. And then at the last chapter, in 65, that's when two characters, I don't know if you like him or not, Jin and
Gin.
And the other, what's the other guy? Gin. And then the guy who Doinky really likes.
Fucking don't know, bro.
With the big sword. He's really mean. He's voiced by Patrick Seitz. What is his name?
Kenpachi?
Yes. I met Kenpachi as well.
He doesn't have a big sword. He just has a sword.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought he had a big sword.
He's normal size sword.
He seems like that type of character, though, right? Like you'd think he'd have like a great sword. Yeah. But yeah, I really was kind of like, I was really just like, okay, we're just, good chapters of Bleach. And I kind of picked up more on it after, Ichigo has his little vision of a guy with glasses, and then he pulls out a sword out of a box. I don't know what to call that guy specifically. He looks a lot like he looks a lot like a different guy, but I don't know what this guy's name is. I think that's kind of the point.
You'll find out. Yeah, within the next chapter.
Oh, really? Okay, so 66. Yeah. That's cool. I did not expect that.
It's like chapter or two.
That's cool.
Not long.
That's cool. Right. So I think the thing I find interesting is I think major theme of Bleach is self-isolation and cutting yourself off from people around you for the sake of your work or your craft, or it would seem, not more so your work. And I'm really liking how Ichigo, to reflect more on himself, to become a real Soul Reaper, gets literally thrown into a hole and is forced to go through the self-isolation. And then what's the little one of the little kids is you're gonna be falling apart when you start hungering, when you start desiring things beyond where you are right now, to just be beyond self-isolation. And then he has this whole vision with the guy in the trench coat. And I don't really know what to make of all of it yet, because I think that Ichigo just kind of, what's it called? I think that his Soul Reaper powers is just coming from him understanding more of himself, and then also isolating himself. I'm kind of wondering where this is going, because I feel like it's just I feel like it's two clashing themes going against each other into the same character. I wonder if that's gonna be a point, that Ichigo just has a lot of like different aspects of himself that he doesn't really understand that keep on clashing against himself. It would seem to me that is a like major thing with this character, where he just has a lot of either origins or some weird aspect of himself he doesn't really get yet, and then it starts, becoming a point. I love the design though of I have it on stream right now in the background on our little TV. With the hollow mask and the Zanpakuto with him breathing out smoke, it looks really cool.
It's so cool. Kubo he's such a good fucking like character designer in like just artist in general.
From what I've seen, I think Bleach in general has like really good designs. Sometimes they have designs I think look kind of silly or a little stupid. But overall, I mean, like, I
it's
think...
hard.
Yeah,
I like the silly designs.
No, I get that. Sometimes I just think they look like... They look like filler characters in a Pokemon episode, sometimes. But most of the time, I think he is cooking always with these designs. I mean, again, I'm so far off of meeting him yet, but Grimmjow looks really cool. Okiora looks really cool. People like that I'm really interested in eventually meeting. I like Gin. I like characters who always have their eyes closed. I think it's always just a cool design motif. But yeah, I think my main takeaway from this is more so just that I'm interested to see because I don't know, I'm interested to see in if Ichigo is gonna like keep on becoming a stronger Soul Reaper, but it keeps on involving him isolating himself more and more. And then at like a certain point, he maybe like outweighs the there's an emotional conversation to be there of like, I don't know, like self betterment or becoming better at doing your job up against the emotional desire you have to be around other people. I wonder if that's gonna be a point. I don't know. I'm genuinely just guessing here. What do you think about this? What do you think about this time in the manga? Because I think I'm only 5 chapters away from being at a Soul Society. I think.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure you are about at that point too.
Yeah.
It's okay. I didn't read the manga, so I watched the anime. I think that's the best way to consume this, even though, like, despite all of its flaws, the OST just fully makes up for literally all of those. It's just best OST in anime, maybe. Like,
very, very good.
It's 100% up there. It's 100% in the conversation.
Yeah.
And that alone, like, carries the experience for me, because it just heightens it to an insane degree for no real good reason. Like, I don't know why they locked in on the soundtrack for this fucking game.
Huh.
Okay, one second.
Oh, you okay?
But yeah, no, sorry, I'm getting a message by Palmer.
Okay.
It's the most like this section of the story is kind of a dip for me. Always like you get the cool like Ichigo moments. You get him with his iconic fucking sword, and like that's cool. But like you don't get to really see the action until like Soul Society, and that's where it gets paid off immensely. And it's like super gratifying, that entire arc.
Yeah, I might read like more than 10 chapters for next week just because I
would say for me it's like read 10 chapters bare minimum, because then that's substance. There's enough to talk about for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you are compelled to read more.
I'm probably going to, realistically.
Who's your favorite character right now?
Currently, I mean, Ichigo. I don't really know. I mean, like, I like Ruga. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really know what other character I like. I mean, I like in concept. I really like Uryu. I like the moments he has had. I'm really interested to see Byakuya and what the god? Why do you keep on forgetting your name? Rukia. Their relationship seems interesting. Yeah, I think so far. Weird. Like, I think so. Wait, it's very weird.
Like in a good way.
Oh, okay. It seems very fucked up so far, but I'm interested. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I really like Ichigo. I'm interested to see more of the other characters, but so far, just Ichigo just been the main one I really like just watching and seeing shit from. I do seriously wonder though, like, where is he? Just again, like, where is his character going? Because it seems like there's just a lot of just random aspects of his character that are just gonna keep coming up that are just new concepts. Like Bleach seems like one of those series that has so many concepts that just keep on coming at you randomly. Like there's, I mean, like I was saying like last week, I thought there was like so many different ways to die in this series. I as you said, I was wrong, but I don't know. It is
like
certainly...
you die your human death, and then you can die a soul death. That's really what it is. But like you don't, energy doesn't go away. You know.
Yeah, but there's like, I don't know, like there's like 18 different swords. There's like a ton of different, like there's like hollows. There's some things. There's other things. I'm just going off of like what I've heard and what I've seen so far and what like seems it's leading into. Also already, even only being 64 chapters in, Kubo's art got a lot better like really quickly.
Yeah.
Like comparing this spread to like anything from the first chapter is like really like just much better really. Yeah, I don't really know what else to add with it. I'm excited for next week. I'm really excited to get into Soul Society. I'm probably gonna read a lot more. And I really like Ichigo. I'm really interested in what's gonna happen going forward. And I don't know. I'm interested to see in the societal change that's gonna happen with the Soul Society by the end of the series. Like that has to be the thing I'm probably most like either interested in or just like wondering if it's gonna pick up some more steam going forward. I mean, I imagine it's going to because there's an arc called the Soul Society, and you know all that stuff. What happens? What arc is after Soul Society?
It's the fucking. I always forget the name. I can't. It's something. It's H days or whatever. I don't know. It's like an in between arc between the Soul Society and the fucking Hueco Mundo saga.
Hueco Mundo is
like the
cool
beginning.
Name.
It's a part of that. But,
something I also want to mention is that I think Bleach has like really cool naming schemes or just naming conventions. Like
it's so cool, bro.
I don't know, just like I don't even know what the hell it means. Just the word Hueco Mundo just sounds really sick. Or like Zanpakuto for a lot of for a sword. It has a lot of like really heavy syllables and letters in it to where I really just like saying or hearing that word Zanpakuto. For sure. Also, I mean, it's just I don't know. Like Kubo just seems someone who has so many good ideas and is just like getting so much better every single chapter I read of this, like on every level. Yeah. I mean, that just seems like how Bleach is in general. Your goat.
My goat.
Is he your favorite mangaka ever?
Is he my favorite mangaka? From a writing perspective, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's not my favorite storyteller.
That would be Hokuzono.
No, that'd be Imaishi.
What did he make?
Gurren Lagann.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah, we should also talk about anime after we're done talking about all of our manga.
Yeah, I plan to because
we
had Daima and Dandadan.
Oh, I have not watched an episode of Daima or Dandadan. I gotta watch both of those.
Crazy, bro.
I don't know.
It's been an insane week. The One Piece episode was too fucking far.
Yeah,
the Bleach episode was also too fucking far. I can't talk about it though.
Okay, well, I've heard it was cool. I saw a bit of the Bleach, the One Piece episode. Also, One Piece is getting another remake with like they're remaking Fishman Island. Apparently, that's cool.
They're remaking Fishman Island because they have a shit schedule and cannot keep up this quality, and so they have to stop.
Yeah,
and so they have to bide time, so they're just gonna remake that shit because it's not like a whole lot of new animation. It's just slapping filters everything and recompositing stuff, which is less time than actually animating.
I'm not even like entirely against them going on a hiatus just to make everything else really good because dude, Egghead has so many moments after this that I'm not even entirely like have the full context for. I'm just like aware of what they are. Where it's like I feel like people would be really mad if they don't get the proper adaptation. Like mainly the stuff with the five guys and burgers and fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the level of it's going to be. It kind of feels like that time when like last year when what's his name, Oda got eye surgery.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not caught up with the One Piece manga. Did Elbaf just start? Because I keep on hearing it did.
Yeah, it did.
How the fuck did Egghead end? Like I heard nothing about it like ending. I mean, don't say
it, man.
All right, nothing happened. Some Zorro shit.
Nothing happened in Eggman.
yeah. Nothing. Yeah, there is no war in Egghead. There is no war in Bossing. Say head as. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I think that's good Bleach talk.
Okay, real quick.
My bad.
People in chat.
Oh, people in chat.
Chapter.
Oh.
Kind of underwhelming this week. A lot of words.
Another one? Yo, let's go.
A lot of. Well, yeah, because we're going. I guess you're not a Hunter guy.
I'm not.
They do batch releases. They don't do single chapters usually, or he does batch releases.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, we're getting about a 10 chapter batch. I'm pretty sure this go around, similar to last time. But yeah, no, a lot of words, not as game changing as last chapter. We kind of are following up from old things, coming back, kind of back to the Succession War grind. Nothing too crazy.
You said people in chat. I don't see anyone in chat asking about Hunter.
No, I'm just letting the audience know.
Oh, fair.
For the people who know, which is not you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about it vaguely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're back to the reg. I feel like we're back to Hunter again, as opposed to potentially the greatest manga of all time.
It's weird to think.
Still up there, but crazy, bro.
Weird to think Togashi has been writing for that long.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he wrote Yu Yu Hakusho as well. I mean, that's it's a lot. It's a long ass time.
It's a long ass time.
Yeah. Man, I don't. Fuck, bro. I gotta catch up with Hunter eventually. This is the problem with it, is there's just too much manga and stuff I have to read where I just don't have enough time to always do it. But I must say, I am very interested to read that. Also, there's another manga I said, I remember at the beginning of the year, I told myself that I was gonna catch up with One Piece, JJK, which then finished, and then what's it called? What was that one manga? Undead Unluck, and then Sakamoto Days. So far, I've read a lot more of One Piece. I finished JJK, and then I'm caught up with Undead Unluck, and I have not started reading Sakamoto Days at all. Actually, I read the first chapter. I'll say that.
Also not. I read 20 chapters and stopped.
Yeah, it seems like it's just action. Like, it seems like, from what I hear, it's always just like
it's
action.
Cool. It's it's a gag and it's cool action, but I don't particularly care. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I can imagine it being really fun and a really good read. It just doesn't grab me particularly. But I will continue it because I do like conceptually a lot of the action set pieces I see, and I feel like that's, again, like Fleb just said, it's the main draw of that series is its action, and it's good. It's good from chapter 1,
Yeah, I'm of the belief that that sometimes manga like that, you can still take a lot of inspiration from it when it comes to the concept of I mean, for you and me, I mean for me, for understanding how to get better at drawing action or paneling and such. I think that there's this one panel I keep on seeing where it's Sakamoto kicks someone through a train door, and it's the cut through the panel. I think that's really, really cool. There's just a lot of really, really cool shit that I see from panels and stuff, like that one guy who cut a car in half, or that person who's in a motorcycle and leans down to the road and the sparks fly up and it lights her cigarette or something. It's wacky in a tokusatsu kind of way that I find really appealing, but I just have not elected to read it. I think I might. I don't know. Just because the podcast now, I kind of want to read things that we're both really interested into. I kind of want to catch up with Hunter x Hunter just because of that. I might do what you're doing with Undead Unluck though, where I just go back really far. And speaking of which, because we've kind of just gone off of the Bleach talk at this point, time to talk about one of my favorite mangas. Aside from that first chapter, Undead Unluck. Dan, what's because I'll go more into it, but because you read all this stuff.
So I don't really remember.
What's your
relationship?
What's your relationship with Undead Unluck?
Initially, I got to a certain point in the manga, and then stopped. I don't know why I dropped it. Don't ask me why, because I don't have an answer. It's just I'm time. I guess I got busy or whatever, and it just kind of fell more to the backside.
Makes sense.
Anime comes out. I'm like, oh yeah, I liked this series a lot. Let me watch the anime. Don't remember a lot from it. didn't leave a particularly lasting impact on me. I just remember very important things from later in the manga that were very cool and I was very excited for.
Yeah.
You know, go through, watch it. Oh yes, this. I remember this. Like these characters are cool. This scene was funny. You know, it's been about a year now since the Undead Unluck anime.
Yeah, roughly.
I've picked up the manga from where it left off. Looking online, very hard to find out because they say it ends at chapter 62, which is not true. It ends at chapter 52. It is 10 chapters before that point. That's where the anime leaves off. Really fucking annoying because it's just like I see the end of this arc, or the climax of this arc, in that, and I get spoiled on a couple things, like re-spoiled because I've already read through this section of the story. Anyways, Shen, very fucking cool character.
I know.
I knew I was gonna like this guy.
He's silly.
Fang, also very cool.
Bro, you have no idea.
He's kind of fucking annoying. Because his motive is stupid at this current moment.
What was his motive at this time?
I just want to be the strongest in the universe. Like, okay, cool. Like that. It's not really like you're not gonna be challenged by this child. You weren't challenged by the child whenever you like made him, kill his sister. That's fucking stupid. Bad idea. Bad man. But he also obviously has something deeper. I like how Shen was used. Like, I appreciated the use of mechanics, though I wish it was I wish the seeds were planted earlier, because it's planted kind of at the beginning of the arc, and then it pays off within the same arc, which is frustrating. I'd have much rather had something that important with the beads happen earlier within the narrative, or be shown from earlier in the narrative, especially because Fang was in the narrative earlier.
Yes.
Is it Fang or Faye?
It's Fang. It's FNG.
Okay, I just don't remember. I don't remember if it had a G or not.
Yeah.
Other than that, pretty nice arc. Got to the point where Fuko is going to join Under for a little bit.
Dude. Oh my god.
There's a lot of talk about how Fuko could potentially kill God.
Yes.
I don't know what made them come to that conclusion necessarily.
You will see. You will see.
Because from what I remember of the anime and what I've read of the manga so far, there's not really a moment where they have the thing, they can do the thing. Like there's not that. They just say that they can. And that they're important. Don't know why yet.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it'll be shown.
Okay, of course. Yes. Do you have anything else you want to add, or can I talk about this for a second?
Go ahead.
So Undead Unluck is a manga that I've always been interested in wanting to read because I was like, it seems kind of cool. There's this one trailer for the anime where it's just Andy's voice actor popping off, and I was like, this seems sick, and the animation is wild. Of him regrowing back limbs just looked awesome. Also, hello. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why Sabra's message popped up for me again. My bad.
Type shit.
Yeah, hello again. But for me, I was interested in it, and then me and a close friend of mine were like, hey, we should read this. And the first chapter of Undead Unluck might be it's up there of Don for one of the friggin' just worst. I hate that first chapter.
Actually, okay, other than okay, before you finish this comparison,
You're fine, you're chilling.
The Don first chapter is good.
No.
And let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It is good. It is potentially one of the best starts to a shonen story ever. It's very solid, gets through the things quickly. The issue comes from you could have everything go in that chapter the exact same way. I actually don't mind the events because it's okay, aliens obviously have always had this probing thing going on. It has always been this type beat. I dislike how sexualized the character is, and that's the main problem with that.
Yes.
She could still be put in that situation. Obviously problematic, but it's not in the typical sense that I find it problematic, where it's this is for the male guy to go save him. Momo saves herself, which is what I appreciate about the
Uh-huh.
breaking of genre norms there. She's a very capable character. Never really, like, gave in. You know, very, very cool. And Okarun was kind of lame, but, like, you know, showed his spirit, his willingness to fight at the same time. But again, it's just, like, the weird over-sexualization of this 15-year-old. That is the problem. That is my main problem with it.
Can I say this, though?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was joking when I said I think it's bad. My problem with it, and this is the thing as well, and it's just kind of how I view it in general, as far as, you know, stuff like that in manga. I don't have an issue with it. I think it can be used well. My problem, like, for example, like, from what I've read of Berserk, I think that it could be, like, gratuitous at some of the points that I've seen, but, like, it's certainly not, like, the worst thing ever, and I do think it can be done in a good way. I think Undead Unluck and, at least, like, from my opinion, like, Yu kind of is a little bit better because, like, Fuko's 18, but in Dawn to Dawn, it's okay. Let me say this. I think it is horrible. Yeah. To clarify, I do still think it is horrible. It's only kind of a little bit better because she's 18, but it's still SA. It's still a fucking horrible thing. It should not be. Yeah. It is a actively bad thing that I think happens. Same thing with Dawn to Dawn. I find the over sexualization of that scene with the fucking aliens to be really gross and weird, but. My thing with it more so is that I agree that those things are horrible. I agree that it is really weirdly done, and I'm just not a big fan of it. But I do think that, like, thankfully, both of those authors, at least from what not both of those authors, because I have not read more of Dawn to Dawn past what happens adapted in the first episode. At least with Undead Unluck, it gets a lot better. Fuko and Andy's relationship is probably not my favorite.
It gets a lot better very quickly.
Yeah. Like I can express this to you enough. Immediately after the first chapter, it gets a lot better. Because after that point, it becomes more of an actual, like, relationship and not, like, Andy just being
random guy is grabbing my kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gross and weird, but then, and I agree it's horrible. I do not. The first chapter is the worst part of Undead Unluck, but then immediately afterwards, it just becomes Kino. Like, it's Yu is it feels like a rom-com with, like, it feels like a shonen rom-com, if that makes any sense. And I think that's why I like it so much. But before I get more to that, to wrap up what I was saying about this, like, I think that Yu had a really weird first chapter, and I think I really hate it. But thankfully, I could see how I don't know the author's name, how he or she or they picked up immediately on, like, oh, this is a horrible thing that Andy is doing. I'm kind of framing this in a really weird way. I should not do that. To then,
I think what it was mainly, actually, not even, like, the author realizing. I think because of how quickly it kind of disappeared, they didn't want it, but they felt the need to add a gag or, like, a funny thing.
Yeah, but it's not funny. Like, it's just weird. Interested.
Yeah, but in Japan, that shit is funny.
Yeah, I don't. It's the same problem. Same problem.
Like if it wasn't funny, it wouldn't be in so many fucking shows. As, like, a joke.
I mean, that's true. At least in Japan, I get it's like a funny thing there. I just find it to be really gross. I do. Yeah. It's the same thing. I have problems. I really do not like the comedy a lot of the time in, like, Persona games, for example, because I find, like, there's always the bathhouse scene. There's always some shit like that. I just think it's so deeply unfunny.
So it's so anime.
Yeah.
But in like a this is fucking annoying kind of way.
But the thing is, like, anime comedy can be really funny. Like I was saying last week, but I've been watching FMA. I haven't really watched much this week. But I find those gags of, like, characters just turning into, like, very simplistic shapes of just, like, saying whatever to be really funny. I've been watching this anime recently called The Case Study of Vanitas with some of my friends, and there's a lot of gags like that in that show where, like, I don't know, like, Noe or someone is just, like, doing something silly, and then they just cuts to, like, Vanitas, who's just, like, an orb. Like, I find that to be really funny. I do think that I just don't think, to be honest though, I think that, like, there's not, like, a lot of super uber, like, really funny, like, anime out there that I think are genuinely really funny. There are some for sure, but I just don't think it's, like, anime is not really the path I go to find really funny shows or comedy or inspiration or just interesting comedy a lot of the time. Sometimes there is, though. One Piece and Undead Unluck have a lot of really funny moments, but sometimes those series equally can have very grating comedy that I really hate. Where was I going with this? Right, so yeah, the first chapter's really weird. I really do not like the way it's presented. I'm happy, though, that, you know, they caught on really quickly and their relationship becomes a lot better to a point where, like, my favorite part of the entire manga, it might be their relationship. It's really, 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 really good. Especially in Autumn.
Yeah.
that flashback scene like nearly made me cry the first time I saw it. It's very, very good. Big fan of that. Big fan of also I'm also just a big fan of that whole arc in general. Like I forget.
Autumn's very good.
Autumn's very good. I forget the. Oh yeah, bro. What is his name? Oh my god, why am I forgetting his name? The blonde guy.
Rip.
Rip is so good. I love Rip. He's so good in Loop 1. He is by far one of my favorite characters in the series in Loop 1. He's so good. I also like the what was his name? The other blonde character who is the author. I forget his name.
I don't remember. I just remember Sensei.
Ano-un. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Also that
like anonymous.
Yeah, that being
weird.
Yeah, that being like a different way of saying that I think is really funny. Autumn I think is a really good arc. I think that a big theme of Undead Unluck is always like like what does it mean to live on beyond your actual life. And I think that's also kind of followed up in a certain way, maybe a little tenuously in this arc with Shen dying and then coming back to life. Like literally him living on in that sense, and then Mui getting the getting not unseen. What is this negator ability called again? Unseen. Untruth. Yeah. Big fan of how that's handled. Oh my god. Yeah. And then God, I wish you were further on because like by the end of it, Fang is one of my favorite characters in the entire series. His actual motivation and like his actual backstory you really get to see going forward. He is, as I think I wrote this on Twitter when I read it, like Fang is the most I'm losing the I don't give a fuck war ever character. Like the entire time he's acting like he just doesn't give a shit about anybody, but he cares so much.
Yeah, I already from what I recall of him, and then like what I just understand by cultural stuff, like he is one of the best characters in the entire series. Yeah. And also just like from in the manga, it's so obvious that there's more shit going on.
Oh my god, bro, Nico, bro, you're not ready. You're just not ready. This is why I'm so happy you decided to read this, bro, and read it, because like you're just not ready. I know you know about some of this stuff, but you're just not ready for Loop 2, bro. You're just not ready. Right, so yeah, but specifically of this, I really like the fight here. I really like we getting Untruth. I think it is a again like a cool point of having the negator ability go on to someone else. I was thinking it'd be kind of cool if Fang got it. I don't know if that would
have been fucked. They wouldn't have won.
They would have fucking died. But it would have. I think it just could have been like an interesting idea on paper, but definitely. Yeah. No. I don't know if entirely in practice. What is this? What else? Right. So you read up until when Fuko goes to Under. So that
was quite literally the last thing I read. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all. Okay. So you read Winter as well then.
No, Winter. Well, I guess if you're counting the
fight between
Billy and
Zhui. J-U-I-Z, Zhui, yeah.
Zhui, like, if that's Winter,
yes,
I thought Winter was the next thing. I thought that was just like...
My bad. Winter is that. That's just that arc is just called the Winter arc. It's very short. What was your thought on that?
I felt that was just part of Summer.
I mean, yeah, kinda, but like it's like...
It's fully like 2 chapters, so I wouldn't have considered that.
That is true. But yeah, what's your thoughts on that fight?
Very interesting. Mechanics behind it don't really make sense, I feel.
Why?
Because like Billy was able to use their abilities before, but they trusted him then? Like they just I don't understand the limitation on the power necessarily.
His power is weird. It kind of makes more sense by the end of this loop, which I don't know if you remember all that or not, but like during Ragnarok, it's like it really goes into more so of how he's able to do this shit. The way I saw it at this point, at least from what I remember, is like because it's unbelievable. What I used to think was like, oh, like so like literally speaking, it's unbelievable the fact that he could just like that he's blind and can just shoot really well and can ricochet bullets off of God knows what. But yeah. I think it's also, it's a point of like, oh, it's unbelievable the fact that he could just use other people's abilities, but that's more, but like, and I think that's like it's based on him, like other people hating him. So it's more so speaking on of him taking this entire burden on himself, and that's kind of why I find really interesting about Under, because I mean you're gonna see it more, but like Under is a group of people who feel very disconnected from one another, but are all definitely people of a lot of strength.
Yeah,
and especially generally the only relationships in there that really like feel like relationships are Bunny are Bax, Rip and not Tatiana, Lala, Layla or whatever.
Lola.
Not whatever her name was. It was definitely not Lola. It was like Latla or something.
La 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 la.
It was good old the sofa mi re do la la li le lo. I liked her. She's cool, but like in the Under, I think it's really cool because like they're kind of all disconnected from one another. Also, something that's super unique about Yu Yu that I don't see in any other manga is the fact that there is a second loop. So because of that, some negators that are in loop 1 you don't really get to know, they pop up again in loop 2 and they're like much more major characters.
I remember.
I love that, especially there's some people in Under you don't really get to know that well, but then pop up way later and it's like, oh, holy shit, what are you doing here? And then they're like really fun characters. I will say this as well, though. Something I prefer a lot more over the first loop than the second loop is that the first loop feels super coherent. Like, from chapter 1 to when Ragnarok ends, it feels like entirely straight line. Like, you just get it. It all makes sense. In loop 2, it's also kind of a straight line, but it's very much... It feels far more segmented. Like, everything feels really segmented all the time. But... Yeah, like in loop 1, it's much more like, okay, we have this goal, then this goal, then this goal, this goal. Okay, now Ragnarok happens. All right, now we have a new loop. And I get it. Like, I get it. Like Fuko's literally trying to rebuild the Union, but
don't talk about this stuff because I don't know
right.
really about this.
Right, my bad. Fuck, I forgot.
Like I just know that there's another loop. I don't particularly know a lot of anything else.
True. Yeah, I mean, let me just say this though. You're about to go into what I think is the best arc in Undead Unluck for sure.
Hard.
Spring is too far. That arc is ridiculous. With Yu Yu, I gotta say, like, it's, you know, kind of has a bit of a messy start, as in, like, literally just the first chapter, but going forward, it, like, really just addresses a lot of stuff I like a lot. It's very, like, cheesy and silly and, like, and, you know, maybe a little
It's,
stupid.
like, corny, but, like, in a nice way.
Yeah, like me.
It feels like older anime.
Yeah. It's a rom...
In the most positive sense.
It is a shonen rom-com, and I love that. Mon is also a big fan of it. I think she's of a big opinion that it's also a romance, which is entirely true.
I feel like you can't deny that.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying she was like the hot take, but
no,
like,
I'm just I'm just saying it's just like it feel like making a whole, like, I know they're making a video about why it is.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's like, yeah,
I'm writing
no
that.
duh kind of moment.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like such a big thing with some people, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's a shonen, yeah, but it's also like, I think a lot of the themes and ideas of it are inherently like romantic thoughts, whether it be on like on the understanding of like romance of like, oh, like romantic in the sense of other people, but also the romance of life, kind of like how One Piece is, like, you know, like Romance Dawn, all that shit. The romance of adventure, of being a man, of being a person, being a guy. Yeah, I don't really say much more going forward because I feel like you've kind of forgotten a lot and you don't even know what even happens in Loop 2, really. But I'm just saying, you know, like, keep your eye out for some of these characters. You're definitely like every single, like, if you like a character, like, design wise, probably gonna pop up again. If you like a character wise, keep an eye out on them. They're really cool. And as you asked with me, who's your favorite character so far?
I just like Fuko and Andy.
That's real.
Like,
that's real.
It's also probably Shen too.
Shen
I just
is
fuck
cool.
with. I've always fucked with him. I like that he's been there since the beginning.
Yeah.
I wish we got a bit more build up to his like actual death, but he seems to be totally chilling and like, you know, it wasn't real.
Yeah. I remember I got so...
I like the immediate dichotomy switch though.
Yeah.
I just wish it was a bit more established. Like if we had 20 more chapters, I think it would be cool.
Yeah, I like his relationship with Mui. It's very funny.
Yeah, incredibly.
Yeah, like one of my favorite gags in the manga was when Shen was like using untruth on her, and then she was lying about like hating him or something, and he just starts crying. I thought that was really funny. God, there's so many really funny gags like going forward. Like there's an entire arc that's just like it feels like one long joke, but it's really good. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's Yu. And that's. I mean that's all the manga we had lined up. You have any other anime or manga or just like any other anime or shit you want to talk about?
Not really.
I mean, with Dandadan.
Like animation was good this week. Very excited for the new One Piece or fan letter shit. I'm like incredibly excited for that because I've been. I have some ways to find some information about One Piece anime production. I've known about this since like early this year. That this was in production.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very excited, specifically because it's Ishitani directing the entire thing. That means it's just going to look good.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Metaphor this week. I will not play it this week.
You are? Though. Let's go. I finally can buy Sparking Zero.
I need to finish Persona 3 first, like DLC and all.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because I finished the main game, fucked up my save. I want to replay it, just speeding through with my max stats and everything. To get, all the fun dialogue stuff that I was locked out of at the beginning of the game. And the plan is to do that, play the DLC, then move on to Metaphor, because...
Metaphor is so cool.
Dude, I'm so excited. Everybody else around me is playing it. I just want to play it.
Yeah, that's how I feel with Sparking Zero, because, I mean, like, it's kind of both of those, because, like, everyone in the server is playing Sparking Zero, and, like, I really want to play Metaphor. It's just... The problem right now is that, like, I know if I buy Metaphor, my life is going to be absorbed by it, and I have too much other shit I need to focus on right now. Like, that's the problem, bro. I need you to understand, the second, after the middle of November, bro, like, my life is going to be perfect again. Like, it's just... Oh my god. I'm going to play Metaphor so much. I really do also want to play Sparking Zero. I just haven't, like, gone around to it, really.
Sparking Zero looks like a 6 out of 10 Dan game.
Really? Why?
I would just... That's a good Dan game. Come on. Let's get this down. Let's get this on the stream. Most things are 7 out of 10s. Most really good things are 7 out of 10s. Because nobody uses the other 5 numbers. It has to be 5 and above or else it's shit. And if it's 6, it's ass. And if it's 7, it's ass. If it's 8, you enjoyed it. And if it's 9, it's perfect. Then 10, it's like extra perfect.
Yeah, I mean...
But that's not how that works.
I don't work like that.
You're right, but I'm just making it clear that 6 out of 10 means I thoroughly enjoyed something.
Yeah. Here's how I view
it. I can acknowledge its flaws. They're there. They are prevalent. But the overall experience is very good, and I would recommend it heavily.
There's this old video.
7 out of 10 is Persona 3, bro. And I spent the first 30 hours that game was out only playing that game. And that was my first Persona game. I really liked that video game. It prevented me from working on Valhalla. I got lost in the sauce, bro, for an entire month. And, that's a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Is it a 7 out of 10 because it prevented you from working on Valhalla?
No, it's 7 out of 10 because I really like that video game.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. The way I always view it, like my scoring works like this, where it's like, I gives things like okay, 1 out of 10s are irreprehensible dog shit that I would never want to experience. I either never want to experience again, or it's something that like I have such a deep love for that sucks so much that I can't not give it something that's that low. So MHA. 2 out of 10s are like there's like it's horrible, but there's like a redeeming factor of like, oh, there's that character I liked, or like one really good like scene or idea or just thing that's really cool. 3 is it's like averagely bad. Like it's bad, but it's not like so bad to where like I want to like call it shit, but I will definitely say it is but I'm not even gonna give it average, just like a bad thing. 4 is like, yeah, like it's like there's like enough redeeming, there's some redeeming qualities of it, but like it's overall pretty bad. I'm gonna keep on using MHA as this example because like that's like a villain hunt for me, like that arc. 5 out of 10 average, like it's just an average thing. 6 above average, like it is a above average thing. It has like maybe it's shit at some points. I would give it maybe a little bit higher. 7, it's a good movie, good game, good show, good whatever. 8, great. I think it is very good. That's what I'd rate Undead Unluck right now. I think it's gonna get higher for me, but from where I am in the manga right now, I view it as like it is a very great manga. It has some issues, and at least some major ones that I'm really worried about, but I do think that like with the direction it's going in right now, I think it's really gonna pick up to really solve those problems. I don't think it's gonna be anything worse than a 7 for me. I really do like Yu a lot though. 9 is it's just incredible. Like it's there's some issues I have with it, but it's incredible. 10 out of 10 is like I can barely come up with any problems. And then sometimes, every once in a while, I break the rules and I just say 11 out of 10, because that's for something that I think is just so special to me that I can't help but give it something higher than that. Like, that's how I'd rank, like, Venture Bros, or, like, Vinland Saga, or Cyberpunk Edge Runners, or Kingdom Hearts 2, or Devil May Cry 5, or Whiplash, or Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, just pieces of media that mean so much to me on either like this is kind of a random example. Actually, no, not even this, because I like the show a lot. I was gonna say It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but that show just inspired a lot of my comedy and how I just like comedic storytelling. But like for me, I rank things like that sometimes, and it's just so far above other things in my mind. Like, if every single time I think of a character or a story concept and my mind just comes back to that series, it's most likely in that ballpark. Like, anytime I think about, like, cyberpunk or, like futuristic, like, stories or anything like that, my mind comes back to, like, okay, I want this to be, I wonder if this is, like, you know, Edge Runner level. Because Edge Runner is too far. And, yeah, that's just how I rank things. For at least for me, like, the Persona games, like, I'd give Persona 3, like a 7 as well. Persona 4, I'd give, like, an 8.
A very good 7 out of 10 experience.
Yeah, it's a very good game. I have issues with it, but I think it's a good game. And I mean that as the original. I have not played Reload. Persona 4, I love that game dearly. That game was like my solace at certain points when I was younger. Like, that game is too far, especially during 2020, because I played through P5R and then I replayed Persona 4 when Golden came out on Steam.
The game right now.
Yeah,
I'll play it at some point within the next year.
It is too far. That game is too good. That game is incredible. I give it like not incredible. It's like I give it like an 8. And then Persona 5 like original, I give like a 7, maybe a 6. I have a lot of issues with Persona 5, but then Royal it fixes so many of my problems to a point where it's like it's my second favorite one, I think. 1 second.
Oh.
I'm gonna go do some shopping and get dinner. So you guys go to your mom's?
That's it. Love you too. Apologies, my dad.
You're chilling.
Yeah. Mr. Flub.
Mr. Flub.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, please. Mr. Flub's my father. Please, call me Flub. But that would mean my last name is... No, whatever. Yeah, I mean, Persona 5 Royal fixes so many of the problems I have with that game. Like, I'm not going to go into all of them, but, like, mainly just, like, there is a certain character who has a really interesting concept of a character, but just doesn't get enough for me to really give a shit about him. And then he has this really big moment where it's like, I feel like I should be caring about what's going on, but I just don't care at all. And then it's like the ending scene is just treating us as if we've like everyone was best friends with this guy and he meant the world to all of us. Like, but it's like, I don't know anything about him. Like, he's just kind of a guy. Yeah, I'm one of those people where my favorite Persona game is Persona 2, but that's mainly just because the plot is ridiculous. That game's really cool because this might be kind of funny because a lot of people love Social Link so much. But I'm a huge fan of Persona 2, partly because it doesn't have any social links, because it just like, oh, the characters, like, even after their arcs, it's like, if you want to see more of them, you just get more of their characters. They just progress throughout the entire game. It's not just like, oh, their initial arc and then you just kind of move on with it. Yeah. Also, it's it's like a cast of like 5-6 people. Like, you don't really... It's just very like 6 like amazing characters in a series, which can sometimes feel kind of bloated with certain characters where I just don't really care about them at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna play Metaphor. I may or may not buy Sparking Zero. I'm honestly just want to play it just to play it with like Amon and Steven and everyone else. I don't even actually. Does Steven have it?
Persona?
No, not Persona. Sparking Zero.
Yeah, he has it.
All right, cool. Well, anyways, yeah, I'd like that. And then Metaphor, definitely. I think I'm probably gonna buy it soon, and then I'm gonna really get into it in November. I might legit just like fuck off from talking to anybody for like a few days and just binge through as much of it as I possibly can in like one sitting. Kind of like how I did with Final Fantasy 16 and like the Elden Ring DLC. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, okay. Well, I mean, like, yeah, anime wise, I mean, Dawn to Dawn and Daima came out. I didn't watch them, but I mean, what do you think of those?
Very good.
Yeah.
Daima, like, I'm not the biggest Dragon Ball guy. You know, technically haven't watched anything outside of, like, Battle of Gods for some
Really?
reason when I was a kid. And then, like, I didn't really consume it or grow up with it. But my Hispanic DNA has made me predisposed to liking it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I fuck with it heavy. That from an animation standpoint, one of the best first episodes I've ever fucking seen. It
Really?
is so gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, I saw the fight between those two, but I didn't see much else.
And it's full reanimation of old, like, Boo Saga, like, some Cell Saga shits. Just fucking nuts. For just no good reason, man.
Yeah.
Very good. Very solid.
Oh, yeah, I did see some reanimation of some stuff. I'm very happy they did that. It makes me so frustrated because, like, the fucking... Oh, my God. Bro. The reanimation at the beginning of Superhero with what's his name? Like, where it's just, like, reanimation from Dragon Ball scenes with, like, Goku just fighting the Red Ribbon Army and then punching through King Piccolo and all this shit. And then it's the Cell Saga. I want the anime to get I want Dragon Ball Z to be reanimated like that, and my life would be complete. It's too far. It is too far how good that looks. I have rewatched that alone so much. Because like when the anime really captures the way Toriyama, like, shades and designs these characters, it's bar none, like, one of the best art styles I've ever seen. It is too good. Toriyama was like... People downplay Dragon Ball, and people act like... Okay, I think Dragon Ball Original is kind of really boring and maybe, like, sometimes too childish for me to really take it in. But, bro, like, ending of Dragon Ball is cracked. Like, there's some arcs in the original Dragon Ball that are just too far, and DBZ is, like, just 4... I mean, more like 3, like, amazing arcs, and then one that I think is just very good, with a lot of amazing moments. And then Super is ass, except for, like... The Goku Black arc up until the very last bit of it. And then Tournament of Power has a lot of good moments, but just overall I still think it's a pretty, like, mid to bad. It's the most fan servicey arc ever. Also, I've never liked Super. Yeah, like, it's not good. Even without looking at, like, really caring, I just didn't understand why everyone was so obsessed with it. Daima, I need to fucking watch. I need to seriously get on that. I might honestly watch it today because I'm gonna be hanging out with my mom and my brother, and, like, we're all kind of fans of Dragon Ball, so I think I might be like, hey, you guys want to watch this? And yeah, so there's that. And then Dawn to Dawn I have not read, and I've only watched the first episode. All I can say mainly is that, like I said earlier, I think that it's kind of gross the way it handles some of that stuff, but from what I hear, it gets a lot better. Also, the dub is so good. AJ Beckles killed it as Okaroon. That's a dub show for sure. As Okaroon. At this point for me, all anime is just a dub thing. Like, I'm at a point with, like, VAing and acting and stuff to where, like, I just need to learn as much as I possibly can from literally anywhere that I can, so I'm just watching everything in a language that I can actually learn from and understand, for sure. You know, if ideally, if this is still, like, going on in, like a few years here, and, like, you and me have become a lot more popular, where people are tuning in a lot more, I think, we should do AMAs with, like, you know, like, acting and also drawing and stuff. I think that'd be pretty hard. Yeah. Type shit. So let me think. Yeah, so we talked about Kagurabachi, Bleach, Undead Unluck, anime that came out, manga that came out. I think that's everything. I don't really know what else is going on. I mean, what do we got forward to next week? I mean, we have a new Chainsaw Man chapter, so I can't wait for nothing to happen. Kagurabachi, I have, like I said, I either Hirohiko flies away like the little gay little bird he is, or I mean gay as in, like, literally just, like, a homosexual person. He flies away. He just flies away. Yeah. Or I don't know, maybe come back to Samaru and Hakuri's back up, you know, popping out. On Yu Yu, I mean, I can't even say because, I mean, I don't want to spoil things. And then Bleach, Soul Society I'm starting next week, and then Dan's getting to the best arc in Undead Unluck, so, you know, just get ready for that. I mean, you know what happens, but, like, you don't know what happens, you know? I don't know what happens. I actually can't tell you what happens right now, like, at all. Yeah. I just vaguely remember some shit. Yeah, and, well, I mean, I think I'm just gonna, you know, we just talk about nothing for a few seconds, because I kind of, sometimes when I end the stream, it, like, cuts it off, like, way too early. But yeah. You got any plans for the next week when it comes to, you know, just stuff you want to talk about? And I don't know, maybe, like, advertise some stuff on your account or whatever? No, not particularly.
I have nothing going on at the moment, like fucking media-wise. Nothing I'm particularly excited for. I guess I'm rewatching like Full Metal with my dad for the.
Oh yeah, me too.
For his first time. That's really funny that we're doing both of that at the same time.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't think that was. No, sorry, not with my dad. I'm just watching it by myself.
Oh no, I needed to rewatch it for Valhalla stuff, and then like I asked my dad if he wanted to watch it with me. He's like, yeah, sure. He fucks with it heavy.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's about it. Everyone have a great week. Also, ideally, I don't think it's gonna happen because I only used either no or just royalty-free music. To clarify, that's why the last podcast was down for a while, because I used the Bleach music, and there were some points where it was a little too loud, or it was using a song which I did not know was copywritten. So I need to definitely figure out how to make sure that never happens again. I'm probably just gonna keep on using the same playlist I've been using, just like city pop stuff. But yeah, watch this episode, watch the next ones. Shit's coming out from me and Dan. Keep up with manga, keep on keeping on. And yeah, have a great week, everybody. Dan?
Yeah, I thought you just.
I thought you were gonna say see. I thought you were gonna say.
Fuck you guys.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say see ya. That's what you've been doing this whole time.
See ya.
See ya.